it's Ethan here, and this is crazy because even though it is already the middle of February, today is my first desert hike of the winter, and it's a big one. I drove all the way out here to West Texas to climb the highest point in the state of Texas, Guadalupe Peak, which is 8,750 feet, and it's here in the Guadalupe Mountains in the Chihuahuan Desert. It's very beautiful out here. Despite what some people believe, that all of Texas is desert, actually only the very western part of Texas is in the desert. The rest of it's actually very humid and not a desert-like climate at all. So I can't be sure, but I think that's the peak up there. But once again, can't be sure on that. It's hard to tell. There's a lot of mountains from this vantage point that all look like they're pretty close in height. So I'm not sure which one is actually Guadalupe, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's either that or behind that or something. But anyway, this is an 8.5 mile round trip, or sorry, 9 mile round trip hike. Most websites will tell you 8.5 miles, but according to the park, it's actually 9. And you're looking at about 3,000 feet of elevation gain when you hike this trail. So it is not easy. It's a beautiful day today. It's about 55 degrees right now, going up over 60, which is awesome, but it's also extremely windy. It's not so bad in this area, but they're calling for as high as 70 mile per hour wind gusts up on the summit today. So I'm definitely looking forward to this, but hoping that wind doesn't beat me up too much today. But anyway, guys, I'll get back to you further down the trail, and I'm excited to show you guys how cool this hike is. Alright, so I've hiked about 3/4 of a mile from the trailhead. You can see it down there. It's the Pine Creek campground, where there's RV and tent camping and all that stuff down there. And then down there, that's all part of Pine Canyon. And this is what the trail has looked like most of the way up. Not easy so far. It's been a lot of stairs, just like you're seeing right here. That's been like the vast majority of the trail so far. Very rocky, lots of stairs, so it's tough. No one said it was going to be easy. I mean, when you're talking about a 9 mile round trip hike with 3,000 feet of gain in the desert, it's going to be tough. I don't care who you are, but it's a really well maintained trail, well marked, well maintained, so I can't complain. And I'm definitely enjoying the scenery out here. I've been really enjoying the winter in Colorado, taking advantage of all the snow we've been getting, but I gotta tell you, it is nice getting out of that every once in a while to go out to a warmer place and do a hike where the scenery is vastly different and the weather's a lot warmer. All right, well, I'm about 1.5 miles into the hike, and you can see the trailhead and campground way down there. I've gone up about 1,000 feet, so that's pretty cool. Only 2,000 feet of vertical gain to go. But yeah, getting a great view from up here out to all the lower parts of the desert out here, and getting a nice view to the south as well. Looks like some smaller mountain ranges out there to the south. West Texas is very beautiful and very remote. And the trail keeps heading up that way. All right, so I found a nice little shady spot here on the trail, one of the few, and I finally caved and decided to put on some sunscreen. It's over 60 degrees now. It's probably like about 62 degrees, and it's really nice. I mean, it's beautiful weather, but being in the desert and being as exposed as I am, I'll definitely get a sunburn. I mean, just look at my skin. I will definitely get a nasty sunburn if I don't put on the sunscreen, so I went ahead and did it. But anyway, I'm following these switchbacks here, and I just passed by a guy not too long ago that said that, you know, once I get to the top of these switchbacks and kind of go around to the other side of this hill, the trail mellows out a lot after that. He said it mellows out, but it also gets a lot windier. So trade-off, I guess. But anyway, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm really loving it out here. It's really beautiful. I mean, this whole trail has had great views, and pretty much been able to see the trailhead the entire time. The trailhead and the visitor center. I mean, you can see all the park services right down there. And then you can see those switchbacks down there. That's actually part of the trail. So I've gone up quite a bit. I would guess I've probably gone up 1,600 feet in elevation so far. I'm definitely over 7,000 right now, probably like, you know, 7,300 feet. So I'm making my way up here for sure. And I gotta tell you, it feels nice to be one of the fastest hikers on the trail. I haven't passed by a ton of people, but you know, I've seen like, I don't know, probably like 3 other groups of people so far, and they all started hiking way earlier than me, and I'm passing all these people. So all that high altitude Colorado hiking is definitely paying off right now. Wow, beautiful view over here. Looking all the way down to Pine Canyon down there. Very cool. This has been a really awesome hike so far. And just like that guy promised, the trail has definitely mellowed out a little bit. I mean, it's still uphill, obviously, but it's definitely not quite as steep as it was the first couple miles. So I'm quite enjoying this. Well, just hiking through some pines right now. Really cool little change of scenery on the trail here. And I'm kind of in a shady spot right now. Right around that corner, it's probably going to get really windy. So I'm recording a little video here instead. yeah, so speaking of interesting things you see on the trail, I just passed by a group of like 4 Russian teenagers who were like hammered drunk. Like they were slipping and falling and not able to keep their balance, and they're all like yelling in Russian and slurring their words. So they were clearly drunk, and I mean, you think this would be not like needed to be said, but you know, probably not the best idea to get wasted when you're doing a hike like this. But hey, what do I know? I mean, there's definitely a risk of falling or something, but hey, what do I know, right? How's it going, guys?
Yeah, it's going good. How are you?
Good.
Enjoying your hike?
Oh yeah, you?
Oh yeah, it's really fun.
But yeah, so like I said, probably not the best idea to get drunk and try to do a hike like this. I don't know. It's just, I was pretty entertained by it personally. I thought that was pretty interesting. It's a first for me. But anyway, I'm gonna keep heading up, and we'll see how windy things get around this corner, because it sounds like they're about to get pretty windy. But get a beautiful view. Wow, what a view from up here on the Guadalupe Peak Trail. Really cool. This is looking east towards just the endless Chihuahuan Desert of western Texas. And I mean, if you look out there, there is nothing. I mean, nothing out there. You got the, you know, campground and park headquarters down there, the visitor center, all that stuff. But other than that, this area is very desolate. I remember when I was planning this trip, I was looking into, like, you know, somewhere near the park, where, you know, like which town was closest to the park, and the closest town is White City, New Mexico, which is where the entrance for Carlsbad Caverns National Park is, and that is about 30 miles from here. So there's nothing out here. It's a very remote area. But it's really cool to hike here for sure. I'm doing some more switchbacks. The trail was, you know, just kind of a gentle uphill for a while, and it's starting to get a little steeper again, but it's still not as bad as it was that first, like, 2 miles. That first 2 miles has definitely been by far the steepest part of this trail thus far. So anyway, I am getting up there, well on my way to getting to the summit of Guadalupe Peak, and man, it's gonna be awesome. But the further I go up, the more people I'm seeing, so I doubt I'll have the summit to myself. And also, the further I go up, the windier it's getting. Like, so far I haven't really been getting blasted with wind too much. This trail is actually, for the most part, pretty protected from the wind, at least thus far. But I mean, you can hear it just roaring. I mean, there is some really heavy winds out here today, really strong wind gusts. I'd say so. I mean, some of the wind gusts that I've been hearing have to be at least 50 miles per hour. So it's this is definitely a windy area. But anyway, I'm gonna keep going, and I'll get back to you guys later. So it's hard to say for sure. I don't know if that is the summit, but I know that that's pretty close up there. So, but like I said, I'm not really sure. It's hard to tell. It's honestly, this entire trail, it's been really difficult to tell, you know, which peak is actually Guadalupe Peak. So I would have my doubts based on how much elevation gain I have left. I still have like 800 feet of gain left. So based on that, I have my doubts that that's the summit, but it's possible. But if it's not that, it's not much further off, because like I said, I got about 800 feet of vertical gain left. So I am kind of, you know, getting into, I wouldn't say the final push, but, you know, the end is in sight. But I'll tell you, it's just beautiful out here. It is really cool. Can't get enough of these views. Just feels like so long since I've been out to the desert. The last time I did a desert hike was that overnight backpacking trip I did in Canyonlands in Utah last May. So it's been quite a long time. It's been like 9 months since the last time I did a hike in the desert. So I'm quite enjoying this. And as nasty as the winds are out here today, the trail has really been sheltered from the wind for the vast majority of this hike. So I'm sure it will not be that way on the summit, but for now, I'm definitely enjoying that as well. Okay, so I'm kind of going through a little bit of a pine forest right now. Winds are picking up, and so obviously that back there is not Guadalupe Peak. My hunch about that was definitely right. I knew there was pretty much no way that would be the summit, but that, I am almost positive that is Guadalupe Peak. So that's how much further I got left. According to some people I just passed, it's like a little over a mile, and haven't gone up much since the last time I talked to you. So probably, you know, 700, 750 vertical feet left. As you can see, the trail does kind of flatten out a little bit. It goes up there and then turns around, and then we'll start going uphill again. But I'm definitely noticing that it's getting more windy, and from what I've heard from a couple of people, at a certain point when you start getting close to the summit, it gets like almost unbearably bad. So not super looking forward to that, but I'm sure it'll be all right. All right, well, I'm well on my way here. Getting to the final push up to the summit of Guadalupe Peak. And man, are these views incredible. Started all the way down there in the lower parts of the desert, come up quite a bit. All right, well, that is it right up there, up at the top there. That is Guadalupe Peak. I am very close. Looks like the trail just goes up and then back up to the summit. It's been quite the hike. I've been on the trail for about 2.5 hours now, so and like I said earlier, there's definitely been quite a few people that I've passed, and so I would say, you know, if you're not used to high altitudes or don't do a lot of hiking or mountain climbing, plan on taking at least 4 hours to get to the summit. But for me, it looks like I'll be doing it in under 3, so no complaints here. Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to the windy summit of Guadalupe Peak, 8,750 feet, the tallest in the state of Texas. And look at that beautiful view. The salt flats down there. Another desert mountain range off in the distance there. I believe that might be in New Mexico. I don't even think that's Texas over there. And the beautiful Guadalupe Mountains all around. Really incredible. There's that metal triangle that marks the summit. As you can see, there's a few people over there, so that's why I decided to head over to this section of the summit and record my video. But wow, this is so cool. And it's windy. It is definitely windy, but it's not nearly as windy as I expected. It's not even close to what the predictions of 50 to 70 miles an hour were. I'd say it's more like 20, 25. But wow, this is incredible. So cool. And despite the wind, the sun is out and it's actually pretty warm up here. It's like maybe 58 degrees. Really nice. Great 360 view from up here. It feels good to be on top of Texas right now, let me tell you. This was a tough hike for sure. Like I said, it was a little easier for me simply because I'm used to hiking at higher altitudes than this. But it still took me close to 3 hours to get to the summit. So it's a tough hike for sure. You're looking at, like I said, 3,000 feet of vertical gain and 4.5 miles up to the summit. So it's quite a bit. But I'm going to enjoy it up here, guys. Have a snack, drink some water, and get some pictures because, man, it is just so beautiful. And then I'll get back to you guys a little later. But, man, it feels so good to be on top of Texas right now. Alright, guys. Well, I'm off the summit, heading back down the trail. And by the way, this thing that I've been getting views of for a little while, that's called El Capitan. And from this side it looks a lot more mellow, but on the other side it's just a sheer cliff. So it's a really cool looking cliff, mountain thing, whatever you want to call it, here in the Guadalupes. Just still enjoying these vast views of the Chihuahuan Desert. Really beautiful. And that was quite a summit. Quite a hike. Tough, but so worth it. And it took me about 2 hours and 50 minutes to get up there. So I'm hoping it'll take 2 hours or less to get down. And after this, I'll just be driving back to town, getting some food, and then checking into my hotel for the night in Carlsbad, New Mexico, because tomorrow I gotta wake up pretty early. I'm trying to wake up before 7 because I have to drive 9.5 hours back to Denver. That's some serious weekend warrior stuff right there. Didn't even take a day off work to drive all the way down here to Texas to climb Guadalupe Peak. Alright, so still making my way down. And from here, you can actually see some of the trail down there, those switchbacks way out there. And then you can see the trail down there as well. Basically just going down a couple of switchbacks, loop around there, and then be going out there. And then once we turn that corner, that will be that initial 1.5 miles where the trail is the steepest, other than that, last third of a mile to the summit. That last third of a mile to the summit was definitely the steepest in my opinion, but that first 1.5 miles is also pretty steep. But I'm not too far away from there, and also, you know, once I get back to that area where you see those switchbacks, there will be no more shade on the rest of the trail. All I can hope for is that it'll be like it was this morning and not windy on that side of the mountain. But anyway, just enjoying the hike back down, having a good time. It's still very beautiful, and it still feels really nice. I mean, now that I'm out of that, all that wind, it's still windy, but I'm not getting hit with it as much anymore. So now it just feels really nice out here, and it's still probably like in the high 50s, so I'm quite enjoying it. Well, man, let me tell you, just up there, it is so windy. Easily like 60 miles an hour. Crazy. All right, so I'm almost down. Getting a great view in the late afternoon of the Guadalupe Mountains. Really cool. So the trailhead is like right over there. Just basically got some more switchbacks to go before I get back there. But I will tell you, do not underestimate this hike. You know, I think anyone who's, you know, in decent shape and, you know, has a little experience hiking could definitely do this. But it's a tough hike for sure, you know, especially if you're used to hiking in like well, I mean, if you're used to hiking in like Colorado or something like that, you'll find this easier than the average person, obviously. But like I said, still, you know, don't underestimate it is all I'm saying, because it's tough. It's a pretty long day hike, you know, 9+ miles, pretty long for a day hike, and it's very steep, lots of elevation gain, and you also got a lot of these. I mean, the whole trail is this loose rock that you see here. That's pretty much the whole trail, the entire way up. So, but man, I'll tell you, it's definitely worth it. I don't want to make it sound like it's not worth it, because it definitely is. Guadalupe Mountains is a lesser known national park, and something else cool about it is the entrance fee is only $5. $5 to get into this park, whereas with most national parks it's anywhere from 20 to 30, and here all you got to do is pay $5. But anyway, I'm gonna keep heading back down, get back down to the trailhead. All right, guys, well, I made it back down to the trailhead. Awesome hike, really awesome. So I'm back at the RV campground, and I still have to walk about another 1/3 of a mile back to my car, because my car is parked at the visitor center, because there's some trailhead parking right here and then to the left, but there was just nothing available when I got here at like 10:30 in the morning. But anyway, that was a really awesome hike, and if you're out in the area, I definitely recommend it. Like I said, you know, just take your time, maybe start a little earlier than I did, because, you know, it took me like, I don't know, 6.5 hours or so to do the hike. But, you know, if you're on the longer end of that, like 8 hours, you probably want to start at like, you know, 7, 8 in the morning, something like that. But yeah, totally, I mean, it's awesome, and definitely worth the trip out here, and definitely worth the tough hike to get up to the top of Guadalupe Peak. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching, because I got more videos coming soon. As always, got a lot of fun stuff I'm planning, more winter adventures in Colorado, and a couple other cool desert hikes that I'm planning on doing this winter and spring as well. So anyway, guys, yeah, I'm a little tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I got here at like 2:30 in the morning, so I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, and I am ready to get back to my car, head back into town, and get some food. But I'll see you guys soon on the next one. Have a good one, guys.